Greetings everyone and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. We'll begin with the top stories. Cameroon saw remarkable surge in oil revenue in 2023, hitting an unprecedented 877 billion francs CFA. These unexpected revenue boosts, driven primarily by increased prices of refined oil products, comes despite a notable decline in oil production. We'll tell you more in this edition of Newscast. And according to residents of Aziri Old Church Junction in Bamenda, northwest region of Cameroon, they have for about 1 month now been suffocating under the weight of disturbing threats. And traditional leaders from the Ori region expressed appreciation for recent infrastructure improvements by the City Council and government's efforts in developing of the region. We'll have more of this in this edition of Newscast. And Cameroon saw a remarkable surge in oil revenue in 2023, hitting an unprecedented 877 billion franc CFA. This unexpected revenue boost, driven primarily by increased prices of refined oil products, comes despite a notable decline in oil production. This is contained in a recent report made public by the Ministry of Finance. More on the story with our reporter Gladys Ambo-Tiba.
Cameroon's oil revenue reached a record high in 2023, exceeding initial budgetary projections by a significant margin. The Ministry of Finance reported a total of 877 billion francs CFA in oil revenue, surpassing the forecast by 35.2 billion francs CFA. This surge can be attributed to a confluence of factors, primarily the increased prices of refined oil products. The lion's share of the revenue, 622.8 billion francs CFA, originated from royalties paid by the National Hydrocarbon Company, SNH, and the state-owned entity responsible for oil and gas exploration. Taxes levied on oil companies contributed an additional 253.2 billion francs CFA. Despite this impressive revenue generation, the report highlights a concerning trend, a decline in overall oil revenue compared to previous years. This downturn is attributed to a drop in oil production, a factor exacerbated by the global energy landscape. Experts note that the price hike in refined oil products played a crucial role in the revenue increase. During the past 13 months, oil prices in the local markets surged by 41%, with a barrel of crude oil fetching over $70. This price increase, coupled with a decrease in production, resulted in a net revenue increase despite the production decline.
And despite the economic downturn and a dip in oil production, Cameroon exceeded its projected oil revenue in 2023. And this unexpected success, according to experts, stems from a couple of factors, including a significant increase in domestic oil prices, and experts have highlighted the role of a 41% surge in local oil products prices as the key driver of the revenue. Our reporter Gladys Ambo-Tiba sought insights from Jean-Marie Biada, a seasoned economist and finance, on the factors contributing to Cameroon's oil revenue surge and his recommendations for maximizing future returns.
Revenue earned through those exports is due to the fact that locally the finished product, their price notably has been increased by the government. And how can the government proceed actually to earn more money as far as let's say, crude oil exportation, even, let's say, the oil sector is concerned. First of all, the government have to revamp Sonara. For more than 6 years now, fiscal years, the Sonara is out of service. The government have to revamp Sonara. Secondly, the government have also to hand the exclusivity to provide our local market of 80% of what we are consuming here as super, as automotive gasoline, as fuel, as cooking gas, as petrol in our local village, and even fuel they are using in the aeroplane, and they are calling it Jet A1. So that is the second means. The third means now is duty. According to me, the government have to pursue the research to see places here where we can exploit crude oil and send it abroad. And fourthly, we have to pursue our research in the domain of natural gas, such as will increase our local production and then earn a lot of money as far as the oil sector is concerned.
The escalating insecurity in Cameroon's Anglophone regions, compounded by Boko Haram attacks in the north, has severely disrupted children's education, prompting urgent actions from non-governmental organizations. Let's watch more in the following story. In the Anglophone regions of Cameroon, burnt classrooms and completely deserted schools are becoming a common sight. The growing insecurity stemming from a crisis that began in 2016 has left the education system in disarray.
1.2 million children who are out of school as a result of the crisis. 940,000 of those children are in dire need of access to schooling. 334,000 are roaming the streets as IDPs. Almost 40% of schools are shut down as a result of the crisis in Cameroon. When you look at this, you have every reason to conclude that it is a dire need.
A particularly pathetic situation is observed in some areas in the southwest and northwest regions.
Those areas where schools are not yet functioning, like in the Akwaya area, in Manyo, in Moyuka, in Fako, in the Bakassi area, Indian Division, Nguti, in Kupe Maninguba, and Meme. We have Mbonge, that is even the worst zone. I can say the whole of that area, schools are not really functioning.
The Northwest region, since the beginning of the crisis in 2016, before 2016, we had more than 423,000 children in school. But with the crisis, the population went down to 20,000.
In response to this dire situation, non-governmental organizations like Street Child have initiated projects such as the Eli Project and the Street Child Localization Open All Day.
If I were to work in Ofolofo, Akwaya, Foe Bakundu, and other parts of Cameroon, I would need organizations who work in that space, who understand the ecosystem in that space.
With the collaboration with Street Child, I'm sure this year we are going to make a remarkable increase as far as...
A workshop held on July 3 in Douala brought together NGOs and other local organizations aiming to foster collaboration and develop strategies to address the educational crisis. According to residents of Aziri Old Church Junction in Bamenda, Northwest region, they have for about a month now been suffocating under the weight of disturbing stench emanating from a huge pile of garbage that has also eaten up more than half of the road, rendering movements of motorbikes and cars unbearable or unpassable. Whether they have also asked questions whether they have been abandoned by municipal authorities. More on the story with a reporter, Annie Collins. Annie.
Along the fence of the western flank of the Bamenda Regional Hospital, this is the garbage pile that may soon measure the height of the hospital fence. At the road intersection commonly called Aziri Old Church Junction in Bamenda 2 subdivision, the huge pile of dirt has been an unwanted neighbor according to petty traders around.
As the city doesn't say that nobody block up for the train go down. So as I block, I said, and I was sending a put and I put down or inside for me to They inside let me to go outside.
They are disgusted by the stench emanating therefrom, just like the liquid sewage and urine draining from the garbage pile to behind a nearby visibly new but abandoned public toilets. Directly opposite are other petty traders to and from where flies carefully cross the road to pick up crumbs of food and deposit their eggs. The big size of the rubbish having narrowed down the road to a single lane, there are risks of road accidents as the people cry out to government if truly the city council has abandoned them.
No. Don't try for say try for manage the dirty for the way we manage. I will not even try for manage the dirty. Don't even try for the government. Say we let them try for no manage even before.
If it is true that as neighbors to the regional hospital, the surrounding population will easily have access into the hospital for treatment, it may not be true that they easily foot the health bills for the airborne or other diseases contracted from simple man-made causes.
Traditional leaders from the Warri division have expressed a satisfaction for the recent infrastructure improvements by the City Council and government's efforts in developing the region. They also issued a compelling call for increased participation and the increased civic participation and integration of Sawa youth into the political affairs. More on that story with our reporter Saleh Sherifa.
Traditional leaders from the Warri region convened to address pressing issues and advocate for community development. In a poignant appeal to the populace, the traditional leaders urged greater civic engagement and participation in nation-building efforts.
We call all those who have to take decision to give youth occupation. We want our daughter and our sons to go there, to have good position, to militate, in such a way that at the end of the day, we also will have quite a number of parliamentarians, mayors, and so on.
The conference held on July 2, 2024, served as a platform for these influential figures to highlight recent advancement and articulate their vision for the future. Central to their message was a commendation for the City Council's ongoing efforts in enhancing road infrastructure throughout the region.
The council is working on roads. We really appreciate that, and we congratulate the city mayor. We also appreciate this effort to put light, street light. But we call on the population also, because there's no need for the council to put light if we, population, will come and spoil them 2 days after.
The traditional leaders expressed optimism that their collective voice would inspire positive change and propel the Warri region towards a brighter tomorrow.
The Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, has sent warning signals to political actors across the country to stay within the armpits of the law or face heavy sanctions from administrative authorities. This was during the opening ceremony of the biennial conference of governors this day in Yaoundé. More on the story with our reporter, Haisencha.
At the opening of the first biannual conference of regional governors for the year 2024, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, sends warning signals to politicians violating state institutions as they prepare for 2025 elections.
I want to make it crystal clear that all political parties and associations are under the Ministry of Territorial Administration. No political activity shall be carried out nationwide without clearance from administrative authorities. Defaulters, regardless of their social ranking, will pay a heavy price for violating laws and regulations of the country. Any attempt to disrupt the electoral process today, tomorrow, shall be dealt with squarely. So no room will be given to soothsayers or preachers of doom who think that they master Cameroon better than the head of state. However, We encourage politicians to go about their activities in strict respect of state institutions.
The recent recurrent accidents on the different highways, like the Douala-Yaoundé, Douala-Bafoussam and Yaoundé-Bafoussam, with many lives lost, is also a major concern for the Minat boss.
These accidents have been caused by reckless driving. This issue will be examined together with the Minister of Transport, the police and the National Gendarmerie.
Paul Atanganji equally frowns at commercial motorbike riders who continue to hide behind the activity to commit numerous crimes.
We have reported cases of recalcitrant bike riders who have refused to abide by laws and regulations. Among these categories, some of them have been arrested by the forces of law and order for aggravated theft, assaults, highway robbery, stabbing of customers, and kidnapping for ransom. Henceforth, culprits will be arrested and tried in competent courts.
Aside the governors, some political actors and media personnel were also part of the deliberations this July 3rd in Yaoundé, as the stakeholders seek measures for responsible actions at the eve of different elections.
And the governors of the different regions see the political atmosphere is booming with a massive campaign for registration in the electoral list. This with the administrative authorities acting as a watchdog to ensure all is unfolding within the accepted norms. Highs and Chair gathered the reactions of the 5 governors on the situation of their respective regions. Let's listen to 5 of the regional governors.
We have meetings with the parties, the stakeholders, political stakeholders, to remind them of the peace which will be observed during the elections.
The administration is functioning, the political leaders are active. For what concerns the Southwest region, activities, economic activities, socio-cultural activities, political activities are back to normalcy. Life is back to normalcy in Manu. Life is back to normalcy in Lebialem. And the economic activities are booming.
We've had a good number of registered voters, more than 53,000 in the West region. I think we are very close enough to our target, which is 80,000 newly registered voters. I think the stakeholders, the political parties, they are very busy. The population are excited. They are looking for their ID cards to carry out this registration process.
We are working with the political actors to make sure that they respect the rules of the game, because before you protest, you have to first of all respect the rules of the game, and to be sure that they don't disturb or do anything that would hamper on the peace and unity that we have in the state as of now.
Different presidents of party are going to far north region to sensitize population. We have different congresses have been held, but beyond all, the CPDM is the leader. And also, we have the inscription of the electoral list have been increased. Student, women, young, here and there.
And we take this advertorial, we'll take you to the world of betting with Kejang Henry Tembe on the awards of prizes to winners of PMUC on the new product Reactivator. Let's watch more.
Many winners of the Activator promo of PMUC received their prizes on June 28, 2024 at the basement of the La Rotonde building in Douala during a ceremony presided over by Tatiana Elder, chairperson of the board of directors of Paris Mutuel Urbain Camerounais. Worth a total of 22 million CFA francs, the prizes consisted of 15 200 centimeters motorbikes, 15 television sets, and 100 smartphones. The prizes were carefully selected by the marketing department of PMUC Cameroon to have a positive impact on the lives of the winners.
So we decided to make a promotion on our sport betting product. The promo was about to bet 1,000 on sport betting, and after that you get a chance to draw to win a smartphone, a TV set, or a motorcycle.
With this pioneer launch that gives a second chance to ticket losers, the lucky winners are now reassured that PMC is a safe bet.
At first, I was not even aware of the reactor program, so I just played as used to play. You know, the football is a passion. Sometimes you just play like that, and then later on they called for me that, oh, Master, you win a moto. I said, which kind of moto? So that's that time I went to their Facebook page, and then I see everything. So I'm very happy, and then I'm grateful for PMC for all this, what they did for all, and then I'll just encourage them to continue, because when it's like this, we feel as us that we are playing football into their app, we are also recognized today.
Deserving staff are not left out. Certificates of participation were awarded to all those who worked to make the campaign a success. And to celebrate 30 years of existence in Cameroon, PMC is promising many surprises to improve and brighten the lives of stakers. The reactivator promotion is just the first step.
The next for the customer is very clear. It's something very good. We will keep our promise. When we say that we offer 200 million, we pay 200 million when you win. We keep our words. First, we will enhance the customer experience, because we have many innovation in our files. We will launch them very soon, and Reactivator is the first step.
A giant of betting and sports play in Cameroon, Paris Mutual Urbain Camerounais reinvents itself daily for the happiness of stakers.
And that's how we saw it on this edition of the Prime Time Newscast in the English language on Canal, the International. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.